sing to the police and that's wow. What's good, y'all? Back at it again with another reaction. If you're new to the channel, my name is Shadiq and you're not locked into Crossover Media. When I saw this one announced and the fact that they initially only released the audio, I was like, nah, two artists talented like this, they can't drop something and then not have a visual for it. So something told me to wait. Now I'm actually really happy that I waited, and these two artists actually also embody what I believe to be the future of UK music and also UK drill in particular. So if you want to hear my thoughts about that, let me know in the comment section down below. But anyway, I know that these guys are going to do something crazy on this one. I've already heard some really good things, so I don't want to hold you out too much longer. Let's get it. I'm actually hearing that this one is going to be drill, which is interesting because I don't think Blanco's been like a drill song. Well, no, he did Anglo-Saxons with Lowski, which was drill.
Stuck in the trap, gotta get out of that, so I'm planning the great escape.
Okay, I see what's going on here. They have like, it looks like younger versions of him, of Central C and Blanco. They actually casted this really well.
Stuck in the trap, gotta get out of that, so I'm planning the great escape. I'm in two minds, should I handle this flick or should I go ham on this tape? CJ set pace, stay calm, I'll handle the chase, don't slam on the brakes. These that way back in the day keep baiting my government name.
Roll us smashing, bathing, but it's with Chelsea and that's so Raven. Hey, blacks, everybody loves.
Blanco's one of those artists that I have to always remind myself while I'm listening, turn your brain on. You can't just glide through this one. You have to really focus. He's really making references to That's So Raven. And I like this concept, the whole Great Escape thing, right? And again, just from that line alone, I think I can double down on what I believe to be the future of this genre, the future of UK rap and drill and everything. They're going to do a madness with the storytelling and giving a slightly different perspective on like the drill narrative. Kind of less drilly, less violent, more so like, here's the story, here's like the experience.
I'm gonna handle the chase, don't slam on the brakes. These that way back in the day keep baiting my government name.
Roll us smashing, bathing, but it's with Chelsea and that's so Raven. Hey, blacks, everybody loves Raymond. Lags might run out the car, he ain't aiming. Go from back like Canaan, guns in my room and they all Caucasian. Tension when you want my strain it, she's trying to cuff my English training.
Now I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm definitely gonna have to read the lyrics first. Well, I read the lyrics all the time while I'm editing, but I can already tell Blanco probably said a bunch of different things in there that I'm just not really fully processing. I heard the references to That's So Raven. I think he said Everybody Loves Raymond. Is that the show? Whatever it was. He made a couple different television show references in there. So I'm gonna try to catch it, but whatever I don't get, y'all know the deal. I'll put it on the screen.
Hey, blacks, everybody loves Raymond. Lags might run out the car, he ain't aiming. Go from back like Canaan, guns in my room and they all Caucasian. Tension when you want my strain it, she's trying to cuff my English training.
Open a window, need ventilation, band don't need renovating. They had their time but they got relegated.
First of all, I love the edit on that. I like the transitions between this scene. If this is supposed to be, well, I can tell this probably was supposed to be like younger versions of them and like their experiences before the music. And I'm enjoying, again, as I already said, I'm enjoying how they're giving us a slightly different angle and different perspective on the lifestyle.
Room of the all Caucasian. Tension when you want my strain it, she's trying to cuff my English training.
Open a window, need ventilation, band don't need renovating. They had their time but they got relegated. Clear that they ain't educated. I pro's got a chance with a rap, I feel like they're feeling my cadence. She give me that, she deca potato tea, I ain't in the ages.
Free Jojo here, Mojo, butting up bread in a buttercup. Kim Sam got a butter.
I heard it, Mojo, Jojo, Buttercup. I already know there's probably a lot of things because I'm actually really focused on this narrative. I'm actually really enjoying it. So this is one of those instances where when you have a really good beat, this beat is actually very much so Central C, and it's kind of indirectly, but now that I'm hearing it, it makes sense. It's also very Blanco as well in terms of having the bright elements too. Because even when Blanco was doing like the whole Brazilian funk thing, it has the brighter upbeat aspects, but also having the heavy hitting bass. So converting that, like those choice of elements, right, or those characteristics of the elements back over into drill is actually working out for him really well.
They had their time but they got relegated. Clear that they ain't educated.
This is very central. I hope we get to see them.
She give me that, she deca potato tea, I ain't in the ages.
Free Jojo here, Mojo, butting up bread in a buttercup. Kim Sam got a butter stuck. Chicks and the judge got a cover a rock. 5 AM and I'm back in the mash. Miss Mac got a watch for the guns. Move cause they watching at us. Broski's gone but he watching above.
Stuck in the trap, gotta get out of that, so I'm planning the great escape.
Okay, man, so I see what's going on here. because as you could tell, like their demeanor and their body language when they first entered this space was a lot more uncomfortable, a lot more awkward. But now, as the story's progressing, as it's kind of showing you them going and coming back, they're becoming a little bit more comfortable. Their demeanor is becoming a little bit more relaxed. Like, yeah, you know, another day in the office kind of a thing. So I'm wondering if it's gonna reach a point in the narrative where it becomes uncomfortable again, or if they just look at it and say, you know what, this ain't worth it, and I'm gonna shift back to music, because it is called The Great Escape, right? So I'm assuming that at some point in time they're gonna have a realization that it's really time to cut from this space. See, here they're kind of like, then when they come back, they're probably seeing good bread. Oh, so they're not seeing good bread. So it looks like what's happened is they're saying, what their body language is telling me is that, damn, like, we're going through this and we're getting that, like, we put in all this work and that's what we're getting back. CJ set pace, they can't handle the chase, don't slam on the bricks. These way back in the day keep baiting my government name.
Seem to police like backstreet boys on Jodeci. Head down with a mask on still when they notice me. 18K for the pendant piece was total fee. Toxic relationship. Okay, well, I didn't see. You know what? The energy definitely did kind of have a wait and see kind of look to it. I don't know, like, on the one hand, it kind of looked like they were just like, you know what, you know, we tried to press, but, you know, we're going to fall back. But I didn't think they were going to do that. But the unspoken dialogues going on here is really interesting.
Toxic relationship with my queen, she got a hold of me. Lizzie, my main concern, everything else can wait. It was family first, it's sad, my bad, I had to get paid. Convo's long, sometimes I ain't bothered, I'm moving like Catherine Tate. Tryna bring in a package of tape like yo, and he want one, yeah. They sing to police, tryna beat their case, singing like B2K. I wanna play, she wants Sinead.
Damn, I already know I'm missing so much, because it's like I'm hearing the references that they're making, so I can tell that they're probably doing really clever things with the words, but I'm actually enjoying what they're doing musically and what they're actually trying to present to us. And I think that's something that kind of gives this a lot more replay value off rip. It's giving me reasons to want to go back and take it in, and it's just giving the song itself more value in general.
Hold of me, Lizzie, my main concern, everything else can wait.
Man just sunned him, smacked him on the head.
Convo's long, sometimes I ain't bothered, I'm moving like Catherine Tate. Tryna bring in a package of tape like yo, and
see the lifestyle change.
They sing to police, tryna beat their case, singing like B2K. I wanna play, she wants Sinead, I'm banging out We Want Race. She got a man, I don't care about that.
Oh, Shanae, We Want Raise, because We Want Raise has a song called Shanae. I'm running back Ings, I heard a B2K reference, and again, I'm so honed in on the visual.
Tryna bring in a package of tape like yo, and he want one, yeah. They sing to police, tryna beat their case, singing like B2K. I wanna play, she wants Sinead, I'm banging out We Want Race. She got a man, I don't care about that. What's he gonna say? She gonna get this when it elongate, she ain't getting no T-bone stick.
London Brazilian beats got green favelas, I'm still in the streets.
First of all, like how you said, I love the Brazilian beats. So again, I mentioned the Brazilian funk thing earlier, right? But even with the way that all of the other elements of the beat dropped, and it sounded like there's some kind of like a wind instrument in there. I don't know if it's a flute or not, but just the way that they added that dramatic pause to it, that's one of the things that I like about drill beats sometimes. At least when certain producers do it, when they allow different pockets of the beat to have its own personality and to kind of amplify or to give a little bit more, I guess I don't want to say more value, I keep saying value, but it allows you to kind of take in the lyrics a little bit differently. It allows you to receive what they're saying differently because the sound is changing with it.
She got a man, I don't care about that. What's he gonna say? She gonna get this when it elongate, she ain't getting no T-bone stick.
London Brazilian beats got green favelas, I'm still in the streets. Under the feast and just for that, under the seat. 100 racks, that's BD. We don't do no BD.
See, it's exactly what I said, right? Like they're gonna go through this life and then it's gonna reach a point in time where they're gonna say, you know what? Let's do music instead. Yeah, I had a feeling.
London Brazilian beats got green favelas, I'm still in the streets. Under the feast and just for that, under the seat. 100 racks, that's BD. We don't do no BD. They don't bullet, they fracture the knee. CD trying to catch the free. Taking a bad one away for a one-time day, man, I'm so astonished. PG like 007, that's quantum of solace. Bro got caught with a bug, but it's virus saved from torrents. Said that with a brown one, but
this is virus saved from torrents, yo. A lot of y'all ain't gonna know about that. LimeWire days, BitTorrent.
So astonished. PG like 007, that's quantum of solace. Bro got caught with a bug. but this virus sent from torrents. Said that with a brown one, but Goldilocks hates porridge.
Stuck in the trap, gotta get out of that. So
I had a feeling so he's doing music and he wants to stay.
Man, should I handle this flick or should I go ham on this tape? CJ set pace, stay calm, I'll handle the chase, don't slam on the.
I had a feeling that's what it was because it looked like he was discouraged that he's gonna go into the studio and he about to go back to wherever. That's what it looked like. I need to just start saying it. And then now, again, Great Escape, right? So now Central, or the person who's playing Central, and he's reciting his verse, he was in the studio when this happened, so he's not in that space to get caught up.
Handle this flick or should I go ham on this tape? CJ set pace, stay calm, I'll handle the chase, don't slam on the bricks. These that way back in the day keep baiting my government name.
Sing to police like Backstreet Boys and Jodeci.
And said, sing to the police like Backstreet. Wow. And then it's the fact that he's clearly in government custody, so now it's may or may not be setting pace for what maybe what's about to happen, you know, in the video itself. This has room to be a concept for a whole project.
She got a hold of me.
This could be a project if it wanted to. Like, they could actually probably do something really like meaningful with the sound, with the content, with the visuals. This could be a short film. I could see this is a short film. So in this channel we hold the vowels. That means we're gonna get straight into it, and I'm giving this one just below a 9. So coming into this one, I had really high hopes, and they were and weren't met at the exact same time. I think that I was probably expecting to hear a lot more like Blanco's crazy wordplay, and there's probably certain aspects of that in this, and I was probably expecting a little bit more of like the flow switches from Central or something like that. But I do think that what I did get was still very much so pleasing. The flows here were very straightforward. If you've heard either of these artists before, you've heard them use these flows and variations of them. There wasn't anything that was extravagant, but it did what it needed to do, and there were no mistakes that at least I caught on. The beat here is definitely one of the highlights of this track. It kept everything together so well. It being drilled tied into the content and even the visual as well, but also having those brighter elements allows it to kind of have a slightly different energy to it, and it can also tie into the theme of them kind of breaking out of that environment in that circumstance. Again, the Great Escape. And that's one of the things that I love about the direction of drill production, drill music, drill videos, everything around drill, especially in the UK right now, is that it's elevating itself and it's evolving to, one, reach newer and different audiences, two, to meet the needs and the demands of the audiences, and also kind of locking in on the things that the audiences are starting to actually gravitate towards. Like this kind of music, if you really deep it, the kinds of artists that people are paying attention to and we're talking about right now, they're doing music like this where you're getting aspects of the road life, but it's giving it to you from a slightly more like a narrative and less from like a braggadocious kind of like, here's what I've done, da 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 da. It's more so like, here's my story, and this beat complements that very well. And even with what they did lyrically, again, that ties right back into that theme too. They were giving you aspects of things that they've been through, but telling it more from like a narration standpoint, which allows you to kind of take it in a little bit more differently. And even having the visuals here, I don't know if maybe Blanco and Central C weren't able to physically link up, or maybe even the intention was for that to be the concept. They wanted to have younger people reflect who they were at a particular point in their lives and showing their come up and what ends up happening when you're involved in a particular life, and what happens when you choose to stay versus when you say, you know what, I'm going to the studio. And I think that's where so much of the value in this song lies, as well as that it really goes to show the reason why music is so powerful, especially drill. There's a lot of, you know, conversation around, you know, the impact that it has on the youth and everything like that, but ultimately at the end of the day, every hour spent in the studio is 1 hour that they're not outside on the street, and that's exactly what this video demonstrated. Now I do know just from some of the glimpses that I caught listening to this one, there's definitely some wordplay hidden in plain sight. I'm probably gonna try my best to catch all of it while I'm editing, but I know that they were doing some madness, just some of the references and everything. So that's one of the main reasons why I want to go back and listen to this one again, and this time without the visuals, so that way I can just take in the music itself. I do also think that the beat is again what really holds this together, and the fact that it had enough moments where it switched up just a little bit, right? Whether it be those moments where the bass just kept kicking, or when everything dropped a little bit to kind of emphasize what somebody was saying, it gives the song so much more of an experience to it. And that's one of the main reasons why I want to take this one in again. And just to wrap it all up, my final thoughts is that I actually hope that they could do more music like this. I'm actually hoping that more artists in the UK in general, especially drill artists, can start taking this kind of approach where they're doing a little bit more of a narration and storytelling to it. I do think that there's a lot of value in these artists' lives and narrations that they can bestow upon us and they choose to take a slightly different direction with their music. Like, I could definitely see artists taking kind of like a Good Kid, Mad City approach to drill, right? I could see somebody saying, you know what, I'm not gonna incriminate myself per se, but I'm gonna take glimpses of things that I've seen throughout my life and turn it into a story, right? So something like what Nines did with his, I think it's Crabs in a Bucket, I believe is what he called it, right? So how he did the little short story around that and then throwing in some of the songs from the project. I can see a lot of other artists doing something like that, and I think that what's good about that is that it allows the music to be, I guess, received in a slightly different light, and I think that it can also help people understand what these artists go through from a different perspective. So I'm gonna leave it there. If you want to hear me talk a little bit more about how I feel about this and kind of dedicate a whole video, let me know in the comment section down below. I really hope that Central C and Blanco can either do more songs like this, whether it be together or as individuals, and just the whole scene in general. But let me know what y'all think. Do you think that they should do a whole EP? Who are some producers you want to see them collab with to do a whole EP? How many songs should be on it? Now, let me know all those things in the comment section again. And as always, hang tight for some more reactions. I do got more of those coming for y'all. But until next time, peace.